We're getting a look here at Jahdae Barron against Michigan. Now, look, obviously this is Colston Loveland. This is a target the Broncos had high in their draft board. You get to see Jahdae working against one of the best tight ends in the entire country here. Now, Texas defense out of a too-high shell right here, right? They're just kind of keeping everything in front of them. But they're going to get man coverage here from these three guys against these three receivers. Now, this nickel defender right here, he's going to take whatever goes vertical. This guy right here is going to climb inside. Jahdae is going to carry to the outside here on Colston Loveland. But I want you to watch how Jahdae plays this, right? Now, you have to play man coverage inside of a stack, right? Or we call this a delta because it's a triangle, essentially. So now you get triangle coverage here. So really, everyone is reading and reacting to what this guy does first. This guy's going inside, so he's to clear out. This defender right here is going to get on his hip and take him. And now right here, it's communicating inside out. These guys are reading and reacting based on the splits of Colston Loveland and this wide receiver. Jahdae is saying, hey, I'm going to take number 18. This guy, because he's closer to him, is going to man up on this number one receiver. So number one receiver goes vertical. That corner takes him. You get the out route right here by Colston Loveland, and Jahdae is going to drive on that and pressure by the Texas defense. This is a high throw, but Jahdae wraps up around the hip. Good job playing the receiver here in man coverage. Let's watch it here from this angle. I remember this game too. Texas, man, they mollywopped Michigan here. Look at the throw. You know, this is a high throw. Not catchable here for Colston Loveland, but right here you've got Jahdae playing the hips. Got a hand secured, and this ball side hand right here is ready to make a play. In case this was a catchable pass, he's working to play through the hands here of Colston Loveland to try to knock it away. Good coverage rep by Jahdae Barron. Barron right here is going to play the run from the outside. It's one thing I like about him. He's willing to come up as a tackler, whether he's playing the outside, or whether he's playing in the nickel, or whether he's playing kind of in even a dime backer spot, or even at safety. But basically right here, you got a two-back set, and obviously you have a tight end over here in Colston Loveland. So he's playing outside leverage, right? Because really, if this is a run, which they do show a tendency on tape, they love to come out and block and get to the outside. Michigan ran for over 2,000 yards as a rushing offense in 2024. You got to be able to come up here. So he's essentially going to be an outside contained force player here to what we call the boundary side, the short side of the field. Now, look, you get a tight end block down, you get a guard pull right here, and then you get the other running back coming up to block. Jahdae is going to attack the outside, keep his outside hand free, but then he sees the running back going to make an in cut. He's going to step down, and he's going to make the tackle right here. Does a good job fighting through contact. That's one thing. Look, he's not afraid of that. He's going to wrap up around the ankle and bring the ball carrier down here for only a short gain. This is honestly a good play. I wish the Broncos would pull their offensive linemen more offensively. It would be nice, but you don't see it too often. So good kick out there. Running back's going to plant and get upfield right here. And then Jahdae is going to come up here, fight through contact, wrap up around the ankles of number 7 of Michigan. Michigan on this play, they're going to run a trick play right here. Now, as you can see for Jahdae, he's playing outside leverage, which means if you look at the alignment, he's outside. He's not head up or he's not inside alignment. He's outside here, so this can give us a zone coverage indicator. You've obviously got a safety who's going to walk up because, hey, you've got motion right here. So he's going to walk up and he's going to help out here in the curl to flat. Well, ideally, he's going to take that deep third. Now, what's going to happen here, this is a trick play. Michigan's going to run a flea flicker. Now, usually, they'll show a tendency to run the motion. He'll be a lead block, and then they'll hand off. Like they have a tendency. They ran for over 2,000 yards last season as an offense, so that's something you always have to respect. But on the boundary side, which, as we talk about here for Jahdae, that's the short side of the field side's the wide side. He's playing out here. Now, wide receiver's running in. He's giving an in call while he's climbing to get depth here to his deep third. Now, what's going to happen is with this crossing route right here, at the top of our screen, this receiver is going to be running an over route as well. This receiver is going to be running a wheel route. So for Jahdae, he's playing this the right way. The safety in the corner on the other end, I feel like didn't play this necessarily the right way, because now that you have this guy climbing over, you want to be able to say, like, this corner to his safety, maybe he can climb over the top of that, right? Because you've got a crossing route over here that's going to intercede where he's going to be trying to get depth. So this corner right here should be taking this crosser. This safety has to plant 45 degrees and drive here to get over the top of this, because now Jahdae's got to cover the wheel route. right here. So Jahdae does that. Quarterback is going to see this crossing pattern coming free because Jahdae has to cover this guy right here, and he's going to fire a shot right here on the crosser. That's just a tough play right there. So a little bit of a coverage miscommunication, not on Barron, but I think on the corner and the safety on the other side of the field here. When we talk about trickery, he's playing it right in terms of playing the wheel because that guy was coming up into his zone first where he's got to protect deep right there. Not mad at that play there by Barron at all. Barron's playing to the outside boundary as well on here against a tray formation. Tray being you got two receivers and a tight end. They obviously have another tight end over here, double tight. But what you're going to see out of the two high shell right here, it looks like they're kind of playing palms coverage, which means obviously number 12, he's going to run vertical, turn it into a post. But then you're eyeing number 2, looks like he's running an out, and it looks like Barron is trying to pass off the vertical post route to one of the safeties right here. Watch where he's at. He's outside leverage. He's gaining depth. Now right here, see how he plants right here? Even though that this guy's in his cushion, this to me kind of gives me the indication that it's palms because now, okay, this guy's going vertical here. If you pass him off, if he's running the post, maybe this safety can climb. Maybe this safety can pick up number 2. But ideally, you're watching right here because the dump-off option is going to be obviously the tailback. So he's protecting here, passing off coverage to react if this is an out-breaking route. He can step on top of that and make a play while this defender right here covers the tight end. Instead, it's the dump-off here to the tailback, and now Barron's going to plant his foot, T-step, and he's going to break forward and come up here. But in terms of coverage, I'm showing this play. Barron didn't do anything on the play here, but I'm showing you his football IQ, his instincts, the way that he sees the field. I think that's important to show in these film breakdowns. On this play right here, we're watching Barron, okay? The play is going to go over here. I want you all to ignore that. I want you to watch Barron here, right? Obviously, 2 wide receivers to this side. Number 1, he's just going to run a quick hitch or curl inside, while number 2 is just going to run the corner route right here. Now, ideally in this situation, look, you have a 2 high shell. Safeties are always going to pursue, but you're playing zone coverage here. Barron's responsibility primarily is to play deep, right? Ideally, he's got to play a medium here because if this guy hitches up and this guy's running the corner, he's got to play the medium to where if the hitch is thrown, he can react and break on it. And hopefully this flat defender can get out there and help. But if it throws the corner route right here, he's got to be able to play that medium where he can plant and still get into position to make a play on the football. You can see it play out here. Ignore what happens down here at the screen. This is the direction the play is going to go, but I just want you to watch Barron and watch these 2 receivers. So let's take a look right here. You could see the release. Now, look, he hitches. Now he's just reacting. His eyes are going to number 2. What's number 2 doing? If number 2 is going in, then he could just plant and break on this if this is thrown. But because you have a vertical release here by number 2, you have to play that. Now, look, he's kind of playing that medium. He's in between this guy and this guy. And now he sees, hey, this guy's running the corner. Now he's getting depth, and he would be able to make a play on this football if thrown. Once again, high football IQ and zone coverage, understands route tendencies. You see that on film here with Barron. Another play right here where we're going to see the Texas defense come up big against Michigan. Now for Jahdae, he's playing outside here. Look, there's the number 1 receiver here. Because there's motion, you're going to see him cheat out. That's obviously something we always talk about in our defensive backs is, hey, if you're covering a solo man, okay, you get motion there and he widens out, you got to widen out, and then it changes your coverage responsibility. So Texas defense, they're going to come up with the interception on this side of the field. I want you to ignore it. I want you to just watch Jahdae because really he's playing the sticks right here. Now he's backpedaling. You get an in-breaking route from number 2. Number 1 looks like he could be running the wheel. He's going to turn it into an out. But watch Jahdae. He sees it right away. Not even fooled. And now he can drive and close in on this if it's thrown. Because, look, it's 3rd and short. It's to the sticks. But instead, it's thrown over here. Popped up into the air. Great job by that defensive back. Intercepted. Just once again, route tendencies. The way that he closed on that out route, he saw that on film. You just like that. This is a guy who takes time to study the game away from the team facility. Nothing too special here. Just once again, you want to be able to see, can he play man coverage at the NFL level? Can he play vertical routes there? You know, he's got a great, people say he's a great cover corner in zone. I also think he's very underrated in man as well. Now, just on this, he's not going to make any play here. I want to foreknote that. But he's just going to get in phase here against the vertical route. Now, watch it right here. He's playing man. He's reading the vertical outside release. So he's not committing entirely, right? You notice how he's still square right here? He's not opening the floodgates because what you see is a lot of wide receiver coaches in today's game. You always want to start out with that vertical outside release and then break it back inside. You get a DB to commit early and you break back inside. Well, hey, there's a big gain to be had right here. So he stays square. He understands that, hey, I'm not going to open up and turn my shoulders just yet. Now I can be able to get in phase. He's going vertical. Now I'm getting on the hip. And now he's in phase, up the sideline. Good coverage right here by Barron. That's just something I wanted to showcase here on this film review. Now you get to see a little bit of that versatility we're talking about, right? A guy who could play outside corner, as you've seen. Now he's playing inside the nickel. He's actually kind of playing as kind of a dime backer, essentially, at this point. Now, he can help out in the middle passing lanes here. He's very athletic, reads the field well, understands route tendencies, sees this right here. Now you got a free-up crosser right here for Colston Loveland. Now Colston's going to catch this, but he's going to lose the ball. 1, 2, 3 steps. He fumbles it. Defense trying to get it. Jahdae is going to pick this up for the recovery. Is another takeaway for this Texas defense against Michigan. But watch this. Now, you want to be able to have a guy who can roam around right here in the middle of the field, right? Because it doesn't have to be just exclusive to the nickel where he plays the curl to flat or plays man on crossers, or the outside where he plays deep coverage, or he plays man there. You want a guy who could play a little bit of everywhere. Now it gives the Broncos versatility to be able to put some of their better pass catching or pass defending defensive backs in the middle of the field on maybe third down situations where it's, let's say you got Pat Surtain, Riley Moss, and those guys that can lock up on the outside. Well, now you can drop Jahdae into the middle of the field as a dime backer in passing situations, and he can play those middle windows right there. I think that's one thing that hurt the Broncos last year. They just didn't have guys that could do that last season. Here's something I like as well. We talk about him playing that star position where he could do a little bit of everything, right? Obviously, he's playing outside corner right here, but you're going to get motion from this guy, and there's no other receiving threat here. So what's going to happen is you're just going to get rollover coverage. So ideally, Jahdae is going to drop back and play safety on this play. He's not necessarily going to do anything on this play, but you're going to see him, okay, my receiving threat is going away. So now he's gaining depth that allows this safety to drop up and help inside the box on crossing patterns while you have a corner playing outside at the top of your screen and a safety playing this hash. You're containing everything, right? And so you allow to get help there because this guy, as we can say, can kiss it. We always say that, like if you get motion to you, you got to kiss it. And then now you allow guys to play freely. Inside backer could play here, safety could come out here and banana peel it while you got outside here, and Jahdae plays over the top where if there's any crossing pattern coming over here, he can pick it up. Essentially, that's what we're talking about here. But multifaceted, inside, outside, dime backer, safety. Jahdae can play all of these roles here for the Broncos defense this upcoming season. I'm excited to see how they're going to use him. Barron's going to get a PBU on this play. Now, obviously, you can see he is playing outside leverage because, look, the outside foot of this receiver is right here. If we look at it, it doesn't even align with any of Barron's feet right here. So he's playing outside. Now, sometimes you get a post or a slant wheel, so he's got to respect that, right? Because this guy could also run a swing route. He could run to the flat and out and up. Boom. So you got to be able to protect. He's playing zone coverage right here. But because nobody comes out to where he's essentially going to cover, have to worry, he plays this almost as man. Now, receiver, he's going to run an in-breaking route here. He's just backpedaling, and he's opening up to read the field here because, hey, they're playing zone. This corner at the top of your screen is playing anything deep. This safety right here is playing the deep middle, while you have a flat defender right here playing the curl to flat. So, essentially, this is a cover 3 look right here. So, because of that, flat defender right here is going to guard out here. Because you have an in-breaking route and no one here, he's going to plant and drive his foot on this one. Now, this pass by the Michigan quarterback is thrown inside of the receiver. He has to body adjust, but Barron does a great job of playing through the hands, knocking it away. PBU. Love this play. This is a great angle to be able to see how he plays it. I'll pause it at the right frame right here. Drives on top of it. As you can see, the throw is a little too far inside. Instead of leading the receiver, Barron's going to bring that hand around, bring this hand through, knock it away. PBU, good stop there by the Broncos rookie corner. Corner alignment right here for Barron. Look, he's over the, outside leverage. He's not over the top, but outside of the tight end. You have a running back right here. Tight end is just going to run a crossing pattern right here Tailback's going to swing out, so he's just playing zone. Once again, out of the too high shell that Texas runs, you're going to see it. So you get motion. He's just reading, okay, this is a crosser. This linebacker's going to have to pick it up because these guys look like they're playing deep. He's playing over the top. Looks like he's trying to play vertical to curl to flat. And then this guy's going to help in space right here. Crossing route right here. Tailback swinging out. So Jahdae's eyes are looking, is there anyone coming into my zone, which would be deep third. Ideally, if this guy runs a swing, he'll pick him up because you got the crossing pattern here. But instead, nobody's open. Quarterback's going to take it. Now he's going to come up as a run support defender. See, what I like about this right here, you're going to have these defenders right here wrap up the quarterback. He's going to come and find the ball, and he's going to try to rip the ball out of the quarterback's hands. Quarterback's down before he's able to do that. Love the swipe there. Let's take a look right here from this angle. Okay, Michigan's quarterback is looking. His initial read is not there, so he's going to take it and run. You get the wrap up, and now find the ball, try to dislodge it. He tries to rip it out. Good instincts. He's going to fit in well with this Broncos defense. Alignment inside the nickel here for Barron. You're going to get motion. He's just going to be playing curl to flat, right? Initially, he's lined up inside of number 1. Now you got to watch what number 2 is going to be doing, okay? Because you have this corner playing deep third. You have a safety playing over the top. So really, he's going to be getting a hands-on and rerouting, driving out here, playing that curl to the flat area over here. Does a great job. Nice jam here, right? That's one thing you always want to do. You never want to have a receiver get a free release vertically or to the outside. If you can jam and reroute, always encourage that. He does a great job rerouting and jamming, which is going to help his corner and his safety kind of read the field and get a little bit extra time. And now his eyes go directly to number 2, who's running a little bit of that swing, that out and up. And now he's just throttling and sitting because, hey, where are the sticks? Right here. He's just playing underneath that. Now, quarterback's going to throw it short. And it's just rally and come up and try to help out in the run game. Barron's initially lined up in the nickel, but you're going to get motion, which now is going to bump him to playing outside. And right here, Texas, they're playing man-to-man coverage. Now, everything is predicated based off of the splits. Who takes who first, right? Obviously, for this nickel defender right here, he's reading. He's saying, hey, I'm staying on number 2, which means that Barron right here, he's playing this wide receiver as man, okay? Obviously, where's the first down? The first down marker is right here. So, understanding sticks, down and distance, situation. Now he sees, hey, this is an in-breaking route. He does a great job planting this back foot, driving, getting into the hip pocket. Okay, now his left hand is on the hip, which allows his right hand to be his ball side hand, which if this route is thrown by the quarterback, then he can bring that hand through, knock it away. Better yet, might be able to tip it up in the air, and it might lead to an interception. Does a great job closing in on this route right here. One thing I like about Barron, with him being able to play versatile inside, outside, one thing that Vance Joseph loves to do, he loves to blitz the nickel defender. And one thing he always coaches and emphasizes with the defensive back, same thing with Addison Lynch, the Broncos cornerback coach, never show your hand, right? So you look at Barron right here, he's going to blitz here from the nickel against this stack formation. These guys are going to play outside. He's going to play over the top. Safety is going to climb over here while he plays underneath. And then you have help here, help underneath right here. While you blitz the nickel, you send these guys right here, and you hope that you get home. Now, obviously, he's not going to get home here because this is going to be thrown right up the hash, but he's got the ability to blitz without showing his hand, which is great. You never want to show that. You always want to disguise your looks. Pass, the pressure is going to force the ball. It's going to land in the dirt before a receiver has a chance to make a play on it. Pressure bursts pipes. Barron's playing this dime backer role right here. He's walked up here as if he's going to show a blitz indication. And then once the ball snapped, he's dropping out here to the hook to curl, and he's going to make a tackle right here on Colston Loveland. Just good disguise here. Can play that middle of the field. Like I said, this might be useful against the Kansas City Chiefs when they face Travis Kelce. They face a team that's got a really good tight end. Barron might be the solution here to the Broncos' inside coverage problems in the middle of the field here. Now, as you can see, he's just going to hitch up, and he's just going to drive and make a play here. Tackles the defender. Great job shooting, wrapping up the hips, bringing him down. That's a great play right there. Great tackle by Barron. Showing the blitz, dropping back, opening up, getting to his zone, locating the receiver, and then bringing the hammer down. It seemed like Texas really wanted to try to neutralize Colston Loveland in the passing game here. So Jahdae is going to play on him. He's going to jam, and he's going to play him as man, right? Turning this into man coverage. Jams him now. he's kind of riding the outside hip right here, and now he's trying to see. His eyes are in a good spot where he's reading the hip of Loveland. Is he throttling down? How is he going to read this? Now he sees, hey, he's got a wide base. He's planting that outside foot, which means you're not going to plant your outside foot and run outside. You're going to plant your outside foot and run inside. He sees that, so he climbs underneath right here to get in the hip pocket. Really good job right here. And then he's on the hip. He's got a good feel for it. So anytime he feels that movement or that throttle down, he can move with him. Now this turns into scramble drill here for Michigan. He's trying to get the ball out of his hands quickly to avoid pressure. Barron senses that. Look at that. Nice change of direction. He's able to get right back onto the hip here and cover against Colston Loveland. Outside corner right here for Barron. Now what you're going to see is the motion out here by the wide receiver. And now basically it's reading, hey, I'm going to cover deep here. This nickel defender is going to be playing the curl to flat, so he's going to play anything short. Now, you've got this vertical route right here. That's obviously going to have to be something that Barron is going to have to worry about here because this guy is out here in the flat. Ideally, this nickel defender is going to be reading this. Now, look, you see the throttle down. Corner, both guys, corner and nickel, are reading the quarterback. He's already hitched the arm. It's already moving. So now it's thrown. So it allows him to break. It allows him to break. But let's say he didn't throw it yet. Barron will climb over this route to get to what we perceive to be a corner route here by number 2. Instead, nickel defender is going to wrap up. Barron's going to come in and support right there. Understands route tendencies and knows where to play his zone effectively. Barron's almost going to have his second fumble recovery of the game. Now, he's playing outside corner to the boundary side, which boundary is short side. Field side is always going to be the wide side, right? Field side is down at the bottom of our screen. Boundary is up here at the top, the short side of the field. You got 2 receivers on the boundary right here, and you're playing deep coverage. So Barron, as we're going to see, look, he's not going to make this play here. I want you just to keep your eyes on him. Don't be distracted by all this other craziness that's going on. Keep your eye here on number 7 and these 2 wide receivers. Now, look, you got vertical release here. Number 2 is working inside the nickel defender and then is going to work his way vertical. Yes, we know we have a safety in the middle of the field. He's playing outside because if this guy runs out, he's got to play him as well. So now, vertical route right here. You're going to get it kind of turns us into a corner while you get the in-breaking route right here from the number 1 receiver. Barron sees this. He's going to climb and get depth right here on the vertical route. Does a good job, right? Good coverage, knowing he has some safety help right here. The safety is going to have to obviously pivot to the number 1 receiver now working inside here. Just good coverage by Barron. Ball comes out. He's almost going to get on it. He almost gets his second fumble recovery of the game. Big play by Texas defense once again. Barron working against another former first-rounder this year. Obviously, Colston Loveland lined up as the number 2 guy. Barron in the nickel, 2 high safety looks. So what are we seeing here? Outside leverage from this corner down here. You kind of have head up alignment by this corner at the top of your screen while Barron is playing head up or maybe a little bit of outside alignment against number 2. So let's take a look here at what happens. Vertical release here by Loveland. Eyes go directly to the hips, right? He's trying to make all these moves. Is he going to break out? Is he going to break in? Is he going to try to stay vertical with a stutter? He's going to release to the outside, run that, work his way back inside. Barron's going to be wrapped up around the hip, stays there on coverage. I love that, man. You got a guy who's got sticky ball skills, and I understand if I say that. Pause. We'll rewind that. Sticky ability to play the football. We'll go with that one there. Love to see that there by Jahdae. Barron's playing inside right here. You're going to get motion across the formation here by the Michigan tight end. So Barron, he's now going to bump over, tell the ref, hey, you got to get out of my way, man. I got to play the middle of the field right here. And realistically, he's just going to play for anything inside, right? If this guy were to keep crossing, he'd probably stab and step on him while this safety probably gets depth. Flat defender, corner playing right here. But this is just kind of constricting the box a little bit, right? Because where's the first down marker? It's right here. So you want to play in front of the sticks right here, rally and tackle. That's exactly what happens. Now, Barron on this one, the catch is made. This guy spins the outside. He kind of over-pursues this one right here. Misses a little bit of the spin cutback, but comes up and cleans it up here. It's going to be enough for a first down by Michigan's offense here. Once again, ref, get out of my way, man. I'm trying to read the dang field. Now he's just going to rally and tackle, which ideally he plays this how he should initially, right? If he catches it and works back inside, he'll be there. Instead, he works outside. He's able to fight through and work his way back inside. A little bit of over-pursuance right there, but he comes up to make up and tackles the defense. Similar situation as to the last play, playing inside the nickel right here. He's going to just cover anything that's coming inside. He's going to rally and tackle. Look, it's thrown off here. It's a dump off. He's just going to rally, step, plant his foot, come up and tackle. First down markers right here. Love to see it. Look, this is first down, but hey, you come up here, you make the tackle. That's what you ask for. You want to be active and run support. Love the pick that the Broncos got here with Jahdae Barron.